Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. I'm really excited about this video today because it's my first collaboration. I'm taking part in the Fancy Fold Craft Challenge 2023, which continues obviously from last year. It was created by Monika from Monika Wyklaska, aka Paper Mona, and she's been collaborating with the other ladies here, Christine, Jenny, Katarina, Carrie and Monika, and I've been following them for a while, and I contacted Monika and said would it be okay if I joined them officially, and she said yes. So I'm going to create a fancy fold card every single month with the other ladies, and this month the theme is a diagonal joy fold card. I had to think for that for a second so I didn't say it wrong. And yes, I had a look online. I've never created one of those before, and this is why I joined this challenge, because I like to learn new things by watching what other people do, and I've only recently rediscovered my joy of fancy or fun folds. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do with you today. So I've already cut my card base. I'm going to do a diagonal joy fold card in a landscape version. I assume some of the ladies will do it in a portrait version. So I have just cut my A4 sheet. I left the length, so this is 11. I'll have to look it up. I'll pop it in underneath here, but I cut it down to 4 inches in height, and I'm going to score this in half at 5 7/8. I'm going to do this off camera quickly to spare you the footage, and then I'll show you how we create the second piece. I have scored my piece here in the middle now, and now I need to cut it from the top of that score line to this bottom corner here. So I need to line it up in my guillotine. If you've got a trimmer, you can do it in that. I'm just going to look in from the right hand side, making sure it's actually sitting on the edge of my blade. Sorry, can't really show that, so I'll really look on the edge here, and when I've got it in place, I'll press the guard down. Might have to adjust it a little bit again, and then I'm cutting it down. There we go. I might have gone over the score line a little bit, but that doesn't matter. If you haven't got a guillotine or even a trimmer, you can always draw a pencil line there and do it with your scissors. So let's just pop this away. So the idea of the diagonal joy fold card is that you've got another piece of card that holds this flap in place and sits on the inside and hides your greeting. I have cut myself a piece from this yellow cardstock. This, by the way, that's just some cheap card from B&M. That's just 210 because I know I will put a layer on top here. The other card, by the way, the blue one, I think I got this from Craft Stash. This is Pink Frog Crafts, but don't quote me on it on the source. This is a 290 GSM, so you want something sturdy for the outer card here. And the idea behind is that this basically gets glued in here and holds this flap in place. I might actually, I'm just having a look whether I need to make an adjustment. No, it just sits on the top here. The top fold moves in a little bit. If you're not sure, you can cut this smaller, but I wanted the full width because I would like to decorate it with this embossed piece of cardstock. This will be a retirement card for a good friend, and she loves the seaside. So this is basically all there is to it. So this, by the way, what did I say? It's 7 inches wide, and let me just check again, 5.5 in depth, and I just scored it at 3.5 to have this smaller card. So before I'm going to stick this in though, I'm going to decorate this card. The inside, I think I will put a white panel on here, And as I said, I will cut this to size now for the outside. I will give you the measurements in a moment. For those who are new to my channel, I do this, I work things out whilst I'm doing them. Sometimes I have got measurements ready, but I quickly measure it for you and come back with the measurements for you. So I'm back with some measurements. So just to repeat myself, this original card is 11 5/8 by 4 inches, and we cut that at the diagonal. This piece here is 5.5 by 7 and scored at 3.5. And then I've got this inside layer here. I just cut that in white cardstock and I rounded the corners off a little bit. This one is 5 1/4 wide and 3 1/4 in height. So that will hold the greeting. I usually don't glue that inside until I've actually written the greeting. And then for the outside, I'm still on the fence whether I want to use this white piece. I've cut it down in size a little bit. I'm not quite happy where I've cut it off. I might actually emboss it again and just use this part here. But sometimes what I do is, and what I will do after I've told you about these measurements and glued the mat down, I will step away and have a little think about how I do this, because sometimes, which is the same now, time's getting carried away here, and yeah, I need to do something soon, so I might step away before I make a decision about this here. But for the front of the card, we need a mat layer, and this is cut to 5 1/4 by 3.5. I have chosen this pattern paper here. This comes from this little paper pad from Love to Craft. I think I got this from DRK Crafts, and I think they still stock it. I've seen it quite a few times here. And for this to fit the triangle, I need to cut this at a diagonal as well. So same as before, I'm just getting this out here, placing this again, and I'm cutting again from this corner here to the corner there. So aligning this again. There we go. I probably went off camera there, sorry about that. So I will glue this down now. I like to use glue stick when it comes to paper rather than using any other wet glue. And I can stick this down here now. In hindsight, I would probably have chosen my paper a little bit differently so that I wouldn't have cut off that piece there. With this piece here, I don't want to waste that, and I think I'll just pop that on the back and then usually put my stamp here at the bottom. I just don't want to waste this, and I think that will come in handy. So I quickly do this off camera. As I said, I will then step away, but for you it will only be a few seconds before I'll be back. It is admittedly a few hours later, but I had made up my mind what I wanted to do with the embellishments, and I have prepared a little bit off camera. Apologies for that, but I will talk you through what I have prepared. So I dismissed the idea of using that panel, although I could have just cut out some of these elements, but I remembered that I actually have a beach hut die, and I decided to cut a beach hut out of cardstock. When I went through my stash, I couldn't really find any matching colours. I didn't want to introduce a new colour. I couldn't find a nice cardstock here. There is the blue one with the dots, and there's this one here, but I didn't quite like the idea of using any of these. But I didn't want to introduce any more colours really. What I found in my stash though was this. I created this when I needed red stripes for a Christmas card, and I just did this on Word. I just created a table, and then every other row I just filled in with red. And this is just normal copy paper. So to be able to die cut from this, I just stuck a piece of cardstock, this is just scrap card, on the back and die cut from that. Again, I used my Pritt stick, same that I used for the papers. I think this is the best to glue down paper because you don't get any lumps and bumps. So I did this for the beach hut. I used vertical stripes, and I also have got this little lighthouse. I used them horizontally just to have a change here and variation. And the little pieces that cut out here, let me just zoom in a little bit. The windows here, that little window there, windows here, and obviously the light at the top. What I did was I used some of, where is it? Oh yeah, some of this paper here that I had left over, and I just cut the yellow bits out there and stuck them behind. For the lighty at the top, it wasn't quite wide enough, but it doesn't matter. I've got a little bit of the turquoise or aqua showing there, but that'll be fine. So this is what I did with those. Just wanted to show you that. So, and then I had a look through my stash, because this is supposed to be a retirement card. I had a look if I could find a retirement stamp, sentiment stamp, which I did. I just want to show you these. I found one on this stamp set here. Not sure if I can zoom out anymore. No, I've got my camera quite low today. This is Creative Stamping Magazine 119, and this says here, on your retirement at the bottom, and also best wishes, or with love and best wishes on your retirement. I could have used that, but because it's a seaside theme, I thought about using this stamp set here. This one is from Creative Stamping Magazine 110, and it's this one here, and this has this sentiment, relax, you deserve it, and I thought that would be really nice. I can put the other sentiment on the inside for my greeting, but I thought this would be nice, and I always like it when that happens. I actually have got a tag die that this sentiment fit on perfectly, so I just stamped it here in the VersaFine Claire Bluebell. I thought about using red again, but I wanted to reintroduce the blue from the blue cardstock. And then I just put a little ribbon here on it, just tied a knot there. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, you know when you buy t-shirts or blouses and they use these ribbons to keep them on the hangers, I always cut them off. So this is what this is. But I quickly wanted to show you what I do with ribbon, so that it doesn't fray. Let me just grab that. I'm using a lighter, and you won't see the flame on this one. This is one that just gets hot, and I just hold the lighter close to the ribbon until it starts to shrivel and shrink a little bit, and that means the plastic in the ribbon has melted and it won't fray anymore. I've just burned this a little bit. I'm just keeping this to cool down, and then I can cut that little bit off. That can happen, so be mindful. Also be mindful not to set fire to your cardstock. So I'm just actually cutting that off again a little bit. Sorry, I'm going off camera there. So I'm just doing this. I think it might be best to do it separately. There we go. So, yeah, and so I've got these embellishments ready. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you, if you have been following me, you have seen these in a few videos now. This is the Under the Sea ephemera from Made to Surprise. I thought about using some starfish for this, and that would have been nice, but these are printed on some off-white, and I found in combination with the white here I've got here, I didn't like it. It would have worked on its own here. So have a look through your stash, whatever you have. It obviously doesn't have to be sea themed, but this is what I decided to use. So I will just stick these on, and my tag, which I've lost here, I thought about putting some dimension on there, but I'm not quite sure yet because this will go in the post to Germany, and I don't want to have too much bulk to it, but I might just stick the lighthouse and the beach hut down flat and then put this on a little foam pad. I quite like that. It sort of dangles. I could just glue this down and let it dangle. I might actually do that. I like the idea of having that dangling as you relax. So all that's left to do, oh, I didn't tell you about this bit here. Because I didn't go for the embossed piece, I put another paper here on the front, and that's the same size as this piece here. So this is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. I didn't cut the corners off though, and I was left with a little strip like this, and I thought that would actually look quite nice on the inside, so I will stick this down on here before I put my greetings on here. So for the actual fun fold, all that's left for me to do is now to glue this inside here. So I'm just checking again where I need to place it, how low I can place it, so I can have like an equal frame around this here. Can you see? It sits a bit higher. I could have left it maybe a little bit longer, but I quite like the fact that it doesn't cover the whole bottom, because then you know something else is underneath. So I'm just using my magic glue. I find this is the best glue for jobs like that. It was actually Monika, when I first followed her, who I saw use this, and I asked her where she gets it from. So, sorry, that is Monika Wiklewska, not Monika Quilling Lady, although she might use the same glue. So I need to actually close it just to see where I need to place it. As I said, I'll have an equal edge on the side and the bottom. Just zoom in just a little bit. I'm just opening it just quickly, making sure it doesn't catch here, but that's fine. So I can now press it down. So, and that's all there is to it really. As I said, I will pop this in when I've written my greeting, and then this is how it folds up. Put this one here on the back. As I said, I will put my stamp on there, and there we go. A diagonal joy fold card. I quite like this. I'm just seeing it's a bit springy there, so I will just use my bone folder on that again, making sure it stays a little bit down. But when the recipient takes it out, it does pop open, so it's obvious that they have to open it like this and then like this. And they can set it up, I suppose, like this, or even like this, have that sticking out. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think this will look nice when it's finished. So I will quickly glue this down, and then I'll show you the finished card. There we go, my first card for the Fancy Fold Craft Challenge, this diagonal joy fold card. I think this is really cool and really pretty, and I'm sure the recipient will enjoy that. So I don't know if I mentioned that I stuck this down with some hot glue there, but the rest I just used the magic glue again, and I think it's really nice how that dangles there now. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. So I will link to the videos of the other ladies below in my description box. Yeah, and if you were new to my channel and you enjoy my video, you might want to give me a thumbs up, and you also might want to subscribe to my channel to see what else I'm creating. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.